Hi, I'm Allie, and this is Pam, and for our statistics project, we did the correlation between unemployment and foreclosures in the United States. So we first try off explaining what foreclosure and unemployment is. Foreclosure is a legal process in which a lender attempts to recover a balance from a loan from a borrower who has stopped making payments to the lender by forcing the sale of the asset used for the collateral form or loan. And there's three different types of unemployment. There's frictional, structural, and cyclical. Frictional unemployment is where a person is in between jobs or switching jobs or something. Structural unemployment is where the structural problems of the economy affects labor markets. So that could be like a change in technology or something that puts somebody out of a job. And cyclical is caused by a decline in total spending by consumers, which is unemployment that you don't want to have.
So how often do foreclosures happen? According to the FDIC, 250,000 families enter into foreclosure every 3 months, and one out of every 200 homes will be foreclosed upon. Foreclosures happening all across the United States and throughout this recent recession when the housing market took a decline. As of January 2013, there are 1,494,260 foreclosed homes across the United States. And in Wisconsin, 1 out of every 1,051 housing units receive a foreclosure filing in January of 2013.
So then we did who has the highest foreclosure rates. Florida and California ranked the highest for foreclosure activity. Almost 30,000 foreclosures alone were in the state of Florida. And California has a 9.8% unemployment rate, which was the highest out of all the 50 states.
So who had the lowest foreclosure rate? When we looked at the statistics, District of Columbia had only 11 in January of 2013, and South Dakota had only 4 for the lowest.
So then we looked at how foreclosure and unemployment correlate between each other, and we found that the largest populated areas that have more business see a spike in their unemployment over the past several years. An increase in unemployment leads to an increase in foreclosures because people are unable to pay their mortgages. And this picture just demonstrates the different variations of unemployment. And the lighter is the lower levels, and the darker is the higher levels.
So we researched when you're unemployed paying your mortgages, and we found out that in the United States, 6% of the 90 million mortgage accounts in 2012 were held by the unemployed. The figure below and to the left is a graph showing the relationship between mortgages held by the unemployed, and there is a steady increase, and then it jumps up in 2009 and beyond for people that have mortgages and are unemployed. In 2009, over 6% were held by the unemployed people, leading to a high increase in foreclosures.
And then we also looked at the correlation between delinquent payments leading to foreclosures, and we saw that the larger areas or the larger populations in areas with a delinquent status don't pay their mortgages, and then that leads to foreclosure. This figure just shows the different counties and stuff of foreclosure rates in the states.
So the direct correlation, the increase in foreclosure filings has a direct correlation to unemployment rate and is demonstrated through the data we collected through the United States on both foreclosures and the unemployment rate. If the unemployment rate's high, foreclosures also increase, is what we found. In states like California, Nevada, and Florida, all have high foreclosure filings, and in North Dakota, Texas, and Wyoming, they have low foreclosure filings.
And this is just a picture to demonstrate the foreclosure actions in different housing units. And then we did the population versus unemployment. In more populated states, there's an increase in unemployment because there's more workforce, and that leads to more unemployment if people get laid off of jobs. And just some facts that we have is the national average of unemployment rate in 2012 was 7.8%. And Wisconsin was right around the national average with 7.3% of unemployment. And California and Nevada both have a higher than average unemployment rate because of their population distributions, as you can tell by the picture here.
So for our survey, we surveyed people around our area about foreclosures and unemployment. So the first question was, where do you live? And most of the responses for where do you live were from Reedsburg, Loganville, and Baraboo.
Next, we asked, out of the 50 states, where you think Wisconsin ranks for the highest foreclosures. And there was a variation of answers that we had. The most popular ones were the rank at 10, 25, 15, and then it goes to 30 and 20, and then there's just kind of some odd numbers in there too.
So what state do you think has the highest unemployment? When we surveyed people, the main responses we got were California, Illinois, New York, and North Dakota for the highest unemployment.
And then we asked people what they thought was the highest foreclosure rates, or which state had the highest foreclosure rates. And it was kind of the same responses as California, Florida, Nevada, and New York, and Texas.
So how many foreclosed homes do you think there are in the United States? We got a variety of responses on this. Most people were between 100,000 and 500,000 for foreclosed homes in the United States. There are some outstanding ones lower and higher.
And then we also asked people what they thought caused foreclosures besides unemployment, and this also had a variation of answers. People thought it was either legal matters, just not making payments at all, overspending was a really popular answer, drug addiction, insufficient jobs, credit card debt, people not investing and remodeling. Some people weren't sure, high taxes and high bills, and mortgage rising.
So we asked how much they think foreclosures have increased since the year of 2000, and most people responded with between 41 to 50%, with a few between 31 to 40% as well.
And then we asked if the unemployment rate was lower, if they think the foreclosure rate would be lower, and we had an 80% answer of yes and a 20% answer of no.
So we asked how they thought in the United States we could reduce foreclosures, and most of the top responses were we need to create jobs for uneducated people, not allow loans for people who can't afford them, lower the interest rates. Some people just weren't sure, and make payments easier.
And our final question was if you are concerned about unemployment in your area, and we asked them to explain why they were or why they weren't. It was pretty even for yes and no. Yes was 45% of the people, and no was 50%, and some people weren't really sure, or they didn't really know much about it. Reasons why people thought they weren't was because Wisconsin, the area that we live in has a heavily tourist attraction area, the Wisconsin Dells, so there's lots of jobs to offer in that area. And that was like the most common answer for why not. And then for reasons why people are concerned was jobs are hard to find. Some people think the government isn't creating enough jobs, or it's just becoming more and more common for people to become unemployed, and because the economy is slow, or they just don't have the proper school experience for jobs.
So our conclusion of our results and research was that we definitely found a correlation between unemployment and foreclosure rates. Our recommendation to solve these problems was for governments to find programs for first-time homeowners, to increase scholarships for secondary education, making it easier for people to go to school, and to increase the unemployment benefit relief until people find jobs, and lower the interest rate for mortgages.
And then this is our Works Cited page for all the research that was done for our project.
That concludes it.